Welcome back, everybody, to the Ask the Expert series, where we grab an industry expert and we just pepper them with a couple of questions that have come in from the community or that might just be on my mind today. So today we're lucky enough to have Bo DiMuccio here. Bo, if you don't mind, give a quick intro to the audience.
Hey, Anthony, good to see you. Good to see everybody too. Bo DiMuccio, I'm responsible for professional services research and advisory at a company called the Technology and Services Industry Association. It's a partnership that we've had for a long time, Anthony, and look forward to chatting with you today.
Wonderful. All right, Bo. So I'll be honest. I have a couple of questions here, and some are selfish and personal that I want to know about. But the first one, just get us started. Um, you guys have conferences a couple times a year. You do big events for clients, probably more so in the past than currently in-person events. Tell us the most memorable or funniest event-based story that you can think of.
Oh my gosh, there are lots of them.
Yeah.
But well, I'm gonna throw our CEO under the bus because this is his favorite story.
All right.
Several years ago, our CEO, JB Wood, founder of the company, does a keynote at the beginning of every one of these conferences. And then one year he walked out to do his opening keynote and his zipper was down. And of
Did
course,
did he find out at all during the session, or did he only find out afterwards?
only found out afterwards.
Yeah, yeah. There you
So
go.
could it be more classic? What fear do we have? You're walking out in front of thousands of people with your zipper down. Well, that actually happened in our case.
Yes, yeah. Those are the things you have dreams about, right? We're like nightmares, and you wake up and you're like, I'm not wearing any pants, or I've got my zipper down, or right, some embarrassing moment in front of a couple thousand people. And he's sitting up there, and the camera's probably zoomed in on him the whole time, and yeah, it would require some creative camera work to stay above the waist.
Indeed.
Yeah, good. I like it. But another one that is a hot topic right now, and this is kind of at the risk of this question being out of date a little bit,
Yeah.
maybe by the time the question ends being asked, which is about the tariffs and some of the economic uncertainty. Um, any thoughts that you have on how just the tariff strategy generally may affect businesses, but more specifically the PS function within large enterprises?
Well, my understanding is that right now we don't have tariffs on services.
That's right.
That could change. If it does, then everything changes. So right now, I would say the services businesses themselves are pretty insulated from, other than all of the echo effects and all the
Sure,
downstream
sure.
impact on the economy. But it's not unthinkable to assume that at some point, offshoring of services of people is going to be directly impacted, not only indirectly impacted. So you could definitely see, and I think we've seen this already, you could definitely see increased or accelerated uh, efforts to bring call centers, global delivery centers back to, onshore, nearshore. There's that, but we know that those you can't do that. You can't snap your fingers.
No, think about how long it's taken everybody to move in that direction, right? I mean, we're just now getting to a point where everybody seems to have their offshoring strategy figured out, and now potentially upending that.
Yeah, absolutely. It probably brings automation back into even more to the fore. I mean, there's so many. Wow. I mean, the implications could be massive, and they could be massive in a hurry. But I think everybody's just in a sort of, now manufacturers of technology obviously are impacted, and I think you're probably going to see all kinds of reactions in creative ways to bring more assembly and more manufacturing back here. But I mean, that also takes a long time. The investments have been massive. But I think if you're like me, you kind of have your hands on your armrest, and you just don't know, you don't
Yeah,
know what
hold
to
on tight. Yeah, that's what I said. I mean, it truly at the risk of it seems like every minute the story changes on this a little bit, and so we don't really know where this is all going to shake out. The uncertainty is probably a bigger challenge right now than if we knew very clearly that this was going to happen and this was going to be permanent, well, then at least we can
Right.
start making some decisions associated with it. I
One quick plug I'll make, Anthony, is that
Yeah.
Thomas Law, our executive director, is going to be putting out a thought piece maybe today.
Okay.
So if folks go to our portal, tsia.com portal frequently, then they'll be able to pick up our sort of quick take on what technology companies can do. And probably I'll be doing something similar around professional services soon.
Yeah, yeah, it is the question I have been asked the most over the past 48 hours for sure. And the best I've come up with, right? I mean, I like your point on offshoring and are we going to reshore some of the team members in an effort to maybe get out in front of what might happen with services. But one thing I do know is a if it's particularly for our hardware companies that have professional services, but software is going to fall into the same trap here. I do think that at least for a while, the economic center of gravity is going to have to shift towards services. Services don't have those associated with it. People, the pull through services that come naturally for a lot of our professional services teams are not going to be there if we're not selling as much product because it becomes more expensive or less profitable for us to sell. And now we're in this situation where, okay, how do we solve the problems of our clients that already are part of our install base, and that it becomes a huge economic lever for growth in a time where our product revenue and margin might be capped. So
That's a really compelling point of view, and I hope you're right.
I hope so too. And look, our technology companies, any services company, your clients are dealing with the same uncertainty and questions, and so any ability that we have to apply our expertise to solve that, I think is going to be valuable for everybody involved, and I think that's going to be
Sure.
helpful. Um, so we'll see. We'll see how that unfolds, and we'll check out Thomas's piece on that, and as well as yours when it comes out. Um, Final thing that we'll cover during our time here. Bo, you and I are going to be together here shortly at the TSIA World Conference here at the end of April, beginning of May. We're going to try and grab a meal together. That sounds great. Independent of that meal, what's the perfect meal for Bo? Right? Where are you eating? What are you eating? What does it look like?
Well, the hotel we're going to be at has a pretty decent Italian restaurant. You know, they have wood-fired pizza, with I have a lot of passion about. I
Okay.
have a wood-fired oven in my backyard. I'm pretty passionate about Neapolitan style pizza. Their pizza is maybe a 7, but
What's yours at home?
oh, come on, it's
That's it.
it's the standard. It's
All right. So what, 800 degrees that thing gets up to in the backyard?
more, right?
More.
It's got to be 850, 900, so you can
And
make your
so
pizzas in
a
about
minute? How,
75
how long does
seconds.
it cook?
75 seconds to 90 seconds.
All right. All right. What's the topping mix? Like what are we throwing on this thing?
Listen, my people are from the Naples area, and in Naples you get two kinds of pizza. There's pizza margherita, which is tomatoes, fresh San Marzano tomatoes, basil, and if you're in Naples, it's buffalo mozzarella, not cow's milk mozzarella, but
Yep.
mozzarella from buffalo milk. That's the classic original pizza. The other pizza that you get in that city is called the pizza marinara, which is basically just tomatoes, garlic, oregano, and a little bit of pecorino romano, and
Yeah.
of course, olive oil. Got to have
Yep.
olive oil on it. So I wouldn't say we're going to be able to get that kind of pizza in Orlando, but we'll give it a try.
I'll have to come to your home for that, I suppose. Or we can go to Naples. That sounds
There
that
you go.
sounds like where you guys should have your next conference.
Field trip. I'm
Yeah.
thinking field
Yeah.
trip.
I've spent 24 hours maybe in Naples. I flew in there before doing the Amalfi Coast and all that stuff one time. So I did get a pizza there. And then once you're in the region, you get a little of the Neapolitan feel all across the place. But
For
wonderful.
sure.
Well, both, thank you for this. Thanks for the 10 minutes. It went quick, but I enjoyed the conversation. Appreciate the perspective, and we'll see you soon.
Absolutely. See you in a couple of weeks.
Thanks.